Okay. As per usual, I was using my computer, not enjoying it, and Microsoft told me, didn't ask me, didn't present me with a choice, told me, make some space so that I could record this video because my laptop was getting full up. I wasn't presented with what is the correct thing, which is an explanation stating you only have this much room available. I was dictated to by some squirt who works at Microsoft who has written, make some space, right? And this is the problem with this informality that's crept into everything, okay? What you actually end up with is people using it to abandon the subservient position of a service provider and to try and dictate to the user or the customer how to behave and what to do. And this has to be broken. Okay? What's happened in the world in the last 20 years is a hijack. Alright? A hijack of most countries, okay? And the people behind it are international bankers. Yeah, let's call them international bankers for now, okay? And it's not a case of, yeah, I hate the bankers. No, this is an organized plot to control the planet, to control everybody. I just tried to log into my Hotmail and it's insisting, the first thing it says is use your fingerprint or something, and then it says at the bottom, I got a choice, right? But skip, I can go with it, or skip for now. Skip for now means eventually you won't have a choice. And that presumptuous attitude is creeping into everything. You will go along with this, and it's going to cause a war of some kind, of some type. There's going to be a war. There is going to be a war between those who want to remain free and independent and those who are part of this gigantic conspiracy, and there's going to be bloodshed. There has to be. There must be. I'm not saying I find this a wonderful, glorious thing. I'm saying it is inevitable because people won't be imprisoned, because that's what we're heading towards. We are heading towards a one world government prison system. Okay? The other day I'm trying to leave the train station and this presumptuousness is there again. All these barriers are there, presuming that you have to put your ticket through a machine to leave the train station. No. There is not a service on this planet that can imprison you if you want to leave the premises. There they are with this presumptuous nonsense. The truth is they have no business stopping you physically, but they've got this barrier here, and because of this current authoritarian, it's not authoritarian, it's a control system, it's a security, let's call it a security state, okay, system that we've got growing because of these people in the background, these snide, weak people who are trying to ease in this control system onto the whole of humanity. People have allowed this thing to get into place, and at the end of the day, I just climbed over the thing. I just physically climbed over the thing and left, because they don't have any legal right to do it. They don't have any legal right to do it at all. And this presumptuousness is creeping and creeping and creeping, and eventually it's going to lead to a big fight back. It's going to lead to an enormous smashing of it. And this isn't the kind of thing that, you see, the irony is that the irony is that the people who are doing this and who have been planning and plotting this for a long time used the undermining of society so as to create a situation whereby they could take control. Right? This is not the establishment. No. The establishment that has been undermined, and the people who have done it have done it behind the scenes in a sneaky way, and they've stolen our countries from us. We can get them back, because this is all, it's all actually artificial. It's a smokescreen. It has no legal grounding and legal basis at all. It's destroyable. The problem is we aren't going to be able to use the legal system to destroy it alone. It must take physical action. There's no way around it. That is just a logical absolute. Because in this sort of situation, war has been declared on everybody by a small group who want control of everybody. So it's going to get to the point of physical violence. It must. It absolutely must. There's no way around it. Because they are prepared to kill to get their way. At the same time as they're being all sneaky about it, that anyone you've seen it. You've seen cases of people along the way who have been snuffed, who have been killed, and you know it, who have actually tried to get in the way somehow. Even talking about it, like I'm talking about now, it puts a person at risk. That's the truth of this. That's the truth of this. And all this is being done behind closed doors, and there is a plot, there is a plan. Okay? So they've taken the word conspiracy and ruined it. Okay, fine, let's call it a plot then. Let's call it a plot theory. Are they going to try and ruin that word as well? Okay, we'll call it a plan, shall we? Or we'll call it a strategy. I'm sure there are plenty of other words we can use, and enough words exist that these guys aren't going to be able to ruin them all. Because there is a plot afoot. I'm aware of it. I'm not the only person. Many, many people are aware of it. What do? Ultimately, we're going to have to fight back against it. That's the game we're playing. That's what we're involved in. Because this is going to carry on and on and on and on and on until it is stopped. It's not going to stop by itself. It's not going to peter out. It has to be physically stopped. And there are a great many elements to it. So we have to get wise. We have to be smart. But it will be stopped. Absolutely stopped. The vision these people have is of a one world government, right? That has to be stopped. It must be stopped. Actually, I think it's an impossible thing anyway, okay? Because there will always be people who don't want to do things the way that someone else wants them to do it, or wants it to be done. Now, the danger here is the same thing that happened under the hard communism, because essentially this is a form of cotton wool communism they're trying to install on the whole world, right? In the past, they had to kill, right, a lot of people to install communism in the country. And they would kill people, anyone who resisted it. That's your one world government. That's what's in the post. That's what's coming for you. Now, what we need to do is to be willing to fight and die, if necessary, for the freedom, the same freedom that every people in the world who have fought and died for their freedom have ever fought and died for. It's the same thing. It's the same process. And these guys have crept in. And that's the reason they've tried to use the media to make you soft, to make you weak, to make you into this fluffy bunny moron who is malleable and controllable. So you have to shake off that, break it, throw it away, burn it, because it's useless to you. It was all a fad, it was all a farce, it was all a fraud to begin with, and all the way through to the end. You have to get rid of it, abandon it. It's nonsense. What you have to be is rational. You have to look around you and get involved. You have to be smart enough to see when you're being misled, because they'll try and capture you. They'll try and capture your effort to overthrow them and try and misdirect you. That's what they do. They're all doing that. That's all they do. But if you can see it coming, if you know exactly who is behind it, that stuff won't even matter. So educate yourself. Now they'll try and put in place things to falsely educate you. They'll try and put things in place that seem edgy, yeah, but they're actually false. And they'll lie to you. So you have to see this stuff coming and just knock it out every time. And eventually you'll become very, very good at seeing it coming. When you know who's doing it, it becomes a heck of a lot easier. But that's up to each individual to find out for themselves. And that's the war. That's the mainstay of the war. Is the war to make people aware of who's doing it. Because when there is a threshold, there is a watershed moment when enough people will be aware of what's going on and who's doing it, that it will fall over and the end will come for these people. And that's absolutely inevitable. And their efforts, the more effort they put in to trying to stop people being aware by piling on more and more lies, the more people will become aware. So these guys are headed towards their own oblivion. I would like things to end happily. We'll see how it ends, how it turns out. But we're in the process now of shaking off and throwing off and bursting through another attempt to control all of humanity. And you see it every day. All the information services, all of the technology you use now has been hijacked to be used against you to control you. So you surrender your privacy, you surrender your anonymity, and you are just completely beholden to this big control structure which has been put in place. And you've got to wonder who's done it. Okay? Who's done it? Who's doing it? And that is the thing that you need to focus on to really get to the crux of this. And it's not as complicated as you think it is, but it is rather distasteful. And when you do find out who it is, you will basically want to vomit. But after you've actually learned the truth, you'll get used to it and you'll understand it. There's nothing weird and wonderful about it. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is stop getting distracted by the nonsensical, rotten media, and start to do your own little bit of research and interact with other people. Open your mind a bit, but be careful. What you've really got to do is, the importance of thinking cannot be overstated, because you really have to apply your own brain to seeing what does and doesn't sound like it's fair, like it's got veracity to it, like it's true. You have to develop that feeling for it. But once you've developed it, you'll be able to see straight through this nonsense. Now, I've watched this stuff appear and be imposed upon the world slowly, in a creeping fashion, and it all began in 2001. Okay? That's when this all began. When this last push to try and force this, what they call a new world order, into position happened. And it's not a joke, it's not a game, it's a real thing. There, you can see, if you look for it, videos of many world leaders talking about this new world order nonsense, right? They've all been tapped on the shoulder and told, oh, we want you to be part of this. That's the agenda that's afoot. And it's going to take people to risk their very lives to end it, because that is the only thing that you could possibly use ultimately to beat this. Because the fear of losing your life is what these people are they're playing on fear. They want you to be scared about being exposed and scared about saying this or saying that. And they've gently, slowly tried to put this thing in place. But eventually we're just going to be able to just smash it. But that is going to rely upon people banding together, and they're going to have to operate in an organised fashion themselves to destroy it. And this isn't let's just break the system. No, not at all. It has to be done in a smart way. You have to be able to present a better option. Now, the better option, the best option we have, is to be highly nationalistic. That will destroy globalism. That's why they want to dirty the name of nationalism all the time. That's why in Britain right now, the media is focused on trying to make you feel ashamed of Britain. Oh, Britain's some evil thing. No. Bin that, right? Be proud of your country and stand for it and live and die for it. And it will be there for you. All right? That's the truth of this. Okay? You owe your country, and your country will pay you. Your country will take care of you, but you've got to be willing to die for her. And that's the truth. You may not have to, but you've got to be willing to, and that's the cost. And it's the cost that many millions of men have paid in the past for our country, and for other countries too. That's the price. And then you get your freedom, being willing to die. And that's why they've made you soft, so that you feel like, oh, I wouldn't want to do that. But that's the truth of humanity. That's the ultimate bargaining chip you have is your willingness to put your life on the line. And don't be afraid. Lots of boys did it before. We can do it again. But it may not come to that, but you've got to be willing to do it. Anyway, we have to beat these globalists through nationalism. It's the only way. Good luck.